Right, so in the previous video I explained how there's actually 3 oil fittings here. On the flathead there's only 2, and I placed the filter with the pipes, I was gonna say pipe assembly, but just pipes, and indeed the oil comes from here through the filter up here, then goes into this hole here, into that fitting there, which then goes back to the engine in here. And there you can see the galleries there and the hole here. So that's, I take it back, those ones in the bottom are actually solid. As you can see, the hole here is going through this one here, so this one going horizontally across the engine. Yeah, obviously it's vertical. You can, the way it's positioned, the engine is positioned now, it's vertical. It's this one here. This one is the actual one that has the hole. And so sure enough, the other fitting goes from here, either one of these fittings here, through a separate pipe, and sure enough, it goes into the cylinder head here, through this fitting here. And from that there, it goes through this hole here, and I'm thinking that through this hole it just lubricates the entire spring set here. And from these holes it also falls here into these big holes here, which are for the what do they call this? These things here, these connecting rods for the valves, the valve rods. That's what I'm going to call them, valve rods. That's a good name for them. Now, as for the big holes that go onto the camshaft, it looks like it's I'm not exactly sure where they go from. So these are just holes for bolts, these ones as well. Ah, okay, hang on. Alright, this makes sense here. We gotta follow this hole here. I'm thinking, I was saying that this hole splashes everything here, but that doesn't make sense. It would definitely not reach all the way there. But I'm forgetting that over here we have the valves. And I bet you that that thing is hollow. But still, you know, I wish it would go just like the crankshaft and the camshaft, from the middle outwards. And but here, no, it's going from one end to the other. So are the valves. I think I have them in the drawer here. I don't see a hole in it. It should go. So this is the end that shouldn't have a hole on it. Right, yes. Okay, it doesn't have a hole in it, but I bet you the oil flows past through the space here of the bolts. That wouldn't be really nice though. Try to look inside, see if I spot a hole there. Huh. And oil definitely has to go through there, because there's a hole there. Let me just set this aside here. That's how it should go there, like that. So definitely have a hole right there. Why is it not there? Why can I not see it? And where's the exit? That's another thing. Yeah, well, so it's definitely hollow. You can see that. So it is, the oil is actually going past through the space there between the bolts. So hopefully you can see that that is square. Those holes aren't round, they're square. Zoom in, you piece of shit. God damn. I'm so sorry I give up. But anyways, those holes there, they're square. Yeah, you can sort of see it. They're square, and it lines up with this hole here. So oil goes in through there, actually past the bolts. Past the bolt, there's a bolt that goes in there, but the oil is able to, the bolt is round, so it just fits through the sides here. And on the diagonals there's more space on the edges of the square. So oil flows through this space here, and then this whole thing here is hollow. So then oil flows through here, through this whole thing here, and then it squirts out through the top. So as you can see, all the little holes, and it lubricates this whole thing here. But I don't like that it just goes from one end to the other. So one end gets, see that end there, it takes a long time for the oil to get through there. So I'd actually like to know the exact time that is, because see, if we follow all the steps that I've gone through so far, the oil starts at the oil pan, it goes through the camshaft, all through the camshaft, and then through the crankshaft, and then through the rod bearings. Of course, I eliminated that, and the oil was going to stop at the crankshaft. That's what's going to happen. It's just going to stop there, and it's either going to leak through the sides, or it's just going to get pressurized there. So that's another thing. By closing up those holes, we're actually going to pressurize that system much more. Because before, with the holes going through the connecting rods, the oil will just flow through the little holes on the connecting rods and then flow out, go through the piston pins, then flow out back into the oil pan. Now I'm closing that whole path through the connecting rod and through the piston pins. So some of the newer pistons, they actually don't even have holes on them, so it would actually stop there. So that whole system is going to keep more pressure. She's going to throw more pressure on the rest of the system. So oil is a fluid. So if you close one valve, imagine a valve for example, more liquid is going to flow through the other valve. So let's say you have two garden hoses, for example, or one hose going through two valves. If both of them are open, the pressure is going to divide as well as the liquid, or the volume, if you will. But if you close one, then all the liquid and all the pressure is going to go to the other one. So here's the same thing. That's the oil pickup there. So what's actually happening here... Okay, I lost my train of thought here. What was I going to say? I'd like to see where this flows down to. Okay, actually, these big holes here, they're the same holes that line up on top of the camshaft valve, the camshaft lobes. So yeah, those holes then go through these slots here, fall onto these valves here, onto the valves, and through those holes here in the bottom fall onto the cam valve, or cam lobes, camshaft lobes. Let's see if the camera will be kind enough to zoom in there. I'd like for you guys to at least see one of the holes. I'll just set the camera aside here and lift the engine so you can see it. So by doing this, we might actually be sending more oil to the camshaft lobes. But we're just using one path. Before, it would get oil squirted through the connecting rods through the bottom, and oil returning from the valves there, the cylinder head, going past here through the valve rods onto the valves themselves, and then onto the holes there. There are the holes there. Yeah, you can see it now, can't you? You can't. You still can't because of the shade. There's one there. Let's see if it'll... Yeah, it's gonna be hard, guys. It's a stupid camera. Unbelievable. There's one there. There we go. So there's a hole. There's another hole there. There's another hole there. Let me try to lift up the engine a little bit more. You guys have to see the holes there. I'm not getting beat by this stupid camera. Still not enough. There's a hole there, there's another one, there's another one. There we go. All those holes there. So that's the complete circuit for the oil.